Good everyone, on today's video, and today is the second part of our community choice poll, and today it's the MS405C1. I couldn't exactly remember in the TBD flight which one it was, but even so, this is the one. So the MS405 is a pretty well-known French aircraft. It's one of those that they tried to modernize their air force, but obviously the Germans went knock knock blitzkrieg, and it just went from there. There wasn't many MS series aircraft that were capable of taking on the 109Es, and it just really went from there. The MS405 features a 20mm cannon and two 7.5 Mac machine guns, and well, it's just your Joe average aircraft. It's good at everything, but not particularly great at anything. That's just how it is, unfortunately. And the MS405 is a rank 1 1.7, and this got this came second place on the poll, closely followed by the SB2U2. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy about it. So there's that. But let's just say this aircraft, compared to the 406, I actually had more fun in this one than the 406. The 406 for some reason kept bursting into flames the second you looked at it, and yet this one didn't. I only had one engine fire flying this thing, and that's because of tail sacks. I'm an idiot. But soon learned from that. But the 405 is the one that I prefer overall. It's the one that I've always preferred to fly. I mean, you can see how little I had to fly it to spade it. I mean, 7 free repairs just gives you an idea. So obviously ground targets in our 20mm cannon, universal in our 7.5s. Just your normal aircraft really at this BR. This is the sort of armament you would expect from a cannon equipped aircraft. A big cannon and 2 light machine guns or something like that just to back it up really. Or maybe a single heavy machine gun like on a lag. But this is just your Joe average aircraft. This is like just the jack of all trades, master of none sort of aircraft. It climbs okay, but doesn't climb exceptionally well. Turns okay, but doesn't turn exceptionally well. Has good firepower, but it's not the best, etc. It's just one of those planes that if you're good, you can make it work. If you're bad, you can still make it work to some extent. And that's what I like about these MS series aircraft. That's why I love the 410. The MS 410 is a 0.3 RBR higher, and it has 2 extra machine guns, but otherwise doesn't really change much. But it's still a challenge to fly at 2.0 if you don't know what you're doing. And it just went from there, really. But even so, let's see what we can get up to the old MS405. From what I've been able to find in real life, this thing had a bit of a mixed reputation, from what I could find. I mean, it was good enough, but there was just not that many of them, unfortunately. It's another situation like the Japanese N1Ks and stuff like that. Like, there was just too few of them to turn the tide of the Air Force battle and all that. It's like the Tiger 2, the Panther, and obviously the Tiger. I mean, they were good tanks, but at the same time, the American tankers were just more experienced, and they knew the weakness of the Tiger was obviously the side armor, and obviously the Panther was the same, and the Tiger 2 was pretty much the same. I mean, that was even a case during the Second World War where a M8 Greyhound actually nailed a Tiger 2 from behind it. It sneaked up behind it, put 3 shots in the engine block, and that was the end of that. Anyway, I'll see you all in the first game. Well, that took a bit of time, and looks like we're up-tiered. Hooray. Battle for the Rhine. This is typically a map you would see at around 2.3 to 2.7, so that probably means we're going to be fully up-tiered. So this isn't going to be spectacular, I'm afraid. But we're going to do our best, that's all we can ever do. Handsome Joe. Reminds me of Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. I mean, Borderlands 2 is just, oh, it was so good. I just remember playing that all the time because I'd always try and grind to defeat Terramorphous the Invincible because on PlayStation you can get trophies and stuff like that. There's even trophies on War Thunder, however they're a bit ridiculous. And essentially, yeah, we're fully up to 2.7. As I was saying, and there was this one boss that I just couldn't bloody defeat. His name was Terramorphous the Invincible, quite ironically named. And I played as Axton, which was a bisexual turret-armed soldier, and he had the ability to throw down a sentry turret of some kind, and I fully maxed that turret out. I had the twin-barreled guns with slag, as it was called. Slag is the element. Obviously, I think that's still in the Borderlands 3 series, well, in Borderlands 3. Well, no, it isn't. Slag was an element where basically, if you hit the enemy and slag them, you could then switch to another weapon and do more damage, even if it was just a normal weapon with no elemental effects. And I spent so long trying to just defeat Terramorphous using that and the rocket pods that you could mount to the turret. And I eventually found a really cheeky spot, and I used that, and after a couple of attempts of not getting the position right, I eventually managed to kill Terramorphous. And then I say recent, more like a couple of months back, they re-released Borderlands what? Okay, I have no idea what just happened there, but we just lost 3 teammates in the span of a second. I'm just gonna put a well done. We just lost a P400, a Hampton, and a Blenheim. Or Blenheim. Great. Great start, team. Great fucking start. Anyway, as I was saying. So, they re-released Borderlands 1 with all the DLC, and obviously there was some DLC I never got to play in Borderlands 1, so that's the DLC to jump to after maxing out my character, which was Roland. He was the one with the Scorpio turret. Not as good as the Saber turret, though. And I remember just, like, there was a boss that you could fight in, Borderlands 1, which was named... Oh, what was his name? Can't remember. It was this giant crab monster. I can't remember his name. But there was another cheeky spot that you could use to fight him. And it was this ledge. And basically, you could shoot him and he couldn't hit you if you got into position correctly. And eventually, I spent about half an hour trying to kill him. Because the last spot that you could actually kill him from was on his back. And I had to move a slight bit so that he would actually move and get into position to attack me. And then I was able to use my sniper rifle and pick off his last weak spot, which is the only spot you could damage him, by the way, folks. You could not damage this. Oh, what was his fucking name? What was his name? I'm gonna have to Google it on my phone, but like, honestly, like, he was such a pain in the ass till I got the actual position worked out. Yeah, I'll just quickly look it up. Chromorax, that's it, I've just googled it. Chromorax the Invincible. And he was a fucking pain in the arse. Just googled it on my phone. But it was literally just like, oh god, he was a pain in the arse. Anyway, back to the game. We've climbed up pretty well. We're going to ignore the bombers for the most part. Because obviously they soak up 20mm cannon rounds quite well. We're going to be focusing... I hear something, I swear I do. Whatever. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to be focusing mainly fighters. The Sunderland is trying to... You're going to rip your wings off if you pull any harder, mate. I just want to hear the snap of that thing. Just ripping itself in 3. But yeah, we've already lost 3 teammates in the opening part, as I mentioned. So, our main priority is to try and clear up as many of the more severe enemy fighters as we can. Obviously, with us being a 1-7 and being a 2-7 game, this is going to be hard for us. However, I'm always up for a challenge. What we got here? Oh, hello, it's a struggle bus. Oh, Jesus, man, watch your fire! Fucking Sunderland, man. Why would he even take the shot yet he knew I was there? What a prick. Right, well, the struggle boss is diving very hard. I would not dive that hard in that thing, that's for definite. I did damage an engine, but looks like he's trying to use it as a base bomber? To be fair, I don't blame him. I mean, it can work. It's just those situations are very rare to do so. I'm not trusting the lockup of this thing because I don't remember the lockup. Alright, is he still burning? No, he ain't, so he's fair game. However, it looks like the VG's poured some fire into him. Just gonna pour a couple of 7.7 rounds, or 7.7, sorry, 7.5 rounds into him. And we're gonna go for this 1-1-2. Why is he broken off the... I was gonna let that happen and then I would go for my shots. Okay, the 1-1-2's gone in. Let's see if we can finish off the BF-109. Ow. I broke off a little bit too late there. Is he going in? And yes, he did. I don't know why I got the kill. Should have been the VG's. I only fired a short burst, but yeah, whatever. I'll take it. Still, first kill. Let's go for this G-Stuka next. Now, I know what the tail turret on that thing can do, if you remember the combo series flight. Well, battle, I should say. Beautiful. Second kill. I feel sorry for him. Alright, the struggle bus went down, so we've only got 2 enemy aircraft left. That Ju-88 we saw earlier, and a guy named Nebesmi something. 109F. Okay, that's going to be quite important to deal with. And there he is, right on cube. Lovely jubbly. Now, he does have the altitude advantage, and judging by his performance, yep, he's a stat padder. You've not even fully got a 3-1 KDR, that's why you're out in that thing, mate. Don't deny it. But, yeah, this guy's going to be a bit of a troublemaker, let's just say. I don't know why the P-36G thought that was smart. Hey, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. I'm not gonna say to him what you can and can't do. I mean, if he wants to pull up into a stall and get wasted, I mean, he can. Yeah, this guy seems to be a bit of a sad prick, so that means he's got all the time in the world. And of course he's going to target me because I'm the experienced pilot here. And while his aircraft is arguably a shit ton better than mine. And that's not to say the MS-405 is bad, but I'm just stating the bloody obvious here. His aircraft is much better than mine. Right, let's bait him. Keeping an eye on him. Do a bit of derpage, see if he'll fall for that. He didn't seem to do so. Let's see if we can drag him towards the P-36. I've got a Spitfire coming in now to assist us. Looks like that's why he's running away. Oh, careful. There we go. Yeah, we might as well start popping these railway carriages right now. Because at this point, I think he's just going to run to drag the game out so he can pad his stats a bit more. I really don't get players like that. Like, you're honestly no help to your team if you just run all the time. Right, down to the cannon now. This is the thing I like about this map, is that even if I was spayed in this aircraft, which obviously I'm not, this would be perfect for it. I'm in a 1-7 aircraft and I've done my work for the team, and yet the rest, I mean, we did lose 3 planes at the start, which is fair enough, but there we go. 8 rounds left, that should be enough. It looks like Nash is not happy with the fact that he ran to his airfield. Yep, he's a runway camper. Typical, eh? There's always going to be that one sad prick who camps his runway. Let's head back to base. Nash has now dropped all of his altitude to engage a single AAA piece and is not focusing on that. Hooray. Like, bro, you had the altitude and you wasted it. I had no altitude to begin with. Oh dear. I just don't get that sort of thing. But yeah, this to me looks like it's going to be a bit of a pain in the arse, especially with the fact that the Spitfire's continuing to ground pound. Let's have a look. So look, you should know better. You had the altitude, and yet you're continuing to ground pound when you know what a 109F can do. I knew I wasn't going to have the ammo to A, kill him, and B, do anything about it. And yet, you decide in a 2-7 plane to do that. I'm in a 1-7, and I've done more, theoretically, for the team. Because, I mean, what's he popped? Let's have a look. He went for a bomber at the start. I don't know what this P-36 is doing though, because, well, he should really be diving on this 1-9, and I think he's about to. Which is exactly what needs to happen, because otherwise this game is going to be very, very long, shall we say. Come on, P-36, get involved, man. That's it, good lad, get in there. The 1-9 is going to be on low energy, you should have a shot here. Come on, son. Nope, he missed that one. But the Spitfire might have him here. I don't know. Nope, that's a stall from the Spitfire, and the 1-9 is just about to stall on top of him. However, the P-36 should be able to get involved, although he's about as useful as sits on a fish at the moment. Let's have a look. He's probably inexperienced. Yeah, he's inexperienced, that explains it. Oh, no, he's not. He's a smurfer. Just by looking at his realistic stats, he looked inexperienced, but... And look, there he goes. He's running straight to his fucking runway. There's a Ju-88, but I'm not bothered about that. You'd have thought, though, him being a smurfer, he would have the knowledge to at least engage the 1-9 properly. But clearly not, and it's relying on a single 2-7 fighter who decided to waste all of his altitude. And, yeah. And there we go, he's just going to run back to his base. So, the best option for the team right now is to nail the 88, so that way it's much less likely for the tickets bleed to go down. And I realise I bore-bagged, as we call it, in this household. Bore-bagging is another term for saying blabbering, basically. And basically, I've managed to bore-bag the whole way back to the airfield. That is surprising. Yeah, well, we're here now. We might as well just land and then take off and then evaluate the situation from there. Because, well, at this point, I don't think this team's got this, personally. I mean, we've got the Smurfer, but the Smurfer is shit, to put it simply. He's a shit Smurfer. By the way, one thing I've always liked about the French aircraft is that they actually put the actual name of the aircraft on the rudder. I've always liked that. I don't know why, it just suits it. But now the Ju-88 is just going to run my team out of dodge, and it looks like he's going for the base. And the Smurfer is firing from an extremely long range. And yet, when I meet a Smurfer, I've got a fight on my hands, and yet I get this fucking idiot. God blimey. Right, well, looking at this, I don't think this team's got this in the bag, personally, so we're going to return to the hangar, because, well, we've had a long game anyway, and not only that, that team, I'm fairly certain, doesn't have it. But yeah, not a bad result in the MS405. Like I say, when you get a team like that, and you actually get a useless Smurfer, which is very rare, yeah, it just seems that, personally, the MS405 should, if anything, yes, it's better than the D501, but is it really worth, like, facing aircraft like the F1 constantly? Because obviously up tiers and stuff like that, fight stuff like the struggle boss ain't much of a concern. But you've got aircraft like, let me think of another 2-7 aircraft, the E3 that we met, and fair enough, I nearly got killed by it because I was an idiot, but that was my fault, not the plane. And it's just things like that, like, is it sometimes worth upgrading an aircraft? Personally, these MSs, I'd probably say the 410 would be worth your time, but not these ones, the 405 and the 406. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to vote in the poll in the TBD video and all that. There'll be a link in the description below of that video. Well, not in this video, but like, there'll be a link to the poll in the description of the TBD video. And well, I'll catch you all on the next one.